Good morning, my Conwell Tigers. Rawr! Hope you're having a pleasant weekend. Memorial Day weekend brings us an opportunity to be with friends and family. Even though the weather isn't cooperating, I hope that you're still having a productive time. Thank you for filling out the survey. Thus far, I've received about 185 responses. I'll be sharing them with you very shortly. I do want to address a few of the concerns that did come up with regard to the comments in the survey. I think that it's important. But before I do, I want to congratulate the entire PS number 3 community. At this past board meeting, Superintendent Walker announced each school's attendance rate with regard to in-person instruction. PS number 3 stands alone at the top, with over 50% of our student population returning to in-person instruction. In fact, we have 290 students who are reporting for in-person instruction out of 574 total enrollment, putting us at 50.5% of our population who have trusted the school community to provide a safe and secure environment for in-person instruction. So congratulations. Compared to the district, well, currently, PS number 3 houses 2.2% of the entire population of the Jersey City Public Schools. 2.2% of the 25,000 plus students attend PS number 3. Of those who have opted for in-person instruction, we represent 4.8% of the entire district. That's over 100% more than what we currently make up as our fraction of the district. That is phenomenal, and I appreciate it personally that you've trusted the procedures, protocols, and policies that we've put into place at PS number 3. So, when I look through the comments thus far, there appear to be a couple that are outstanding that I do want to address with you. Number one, I have to say that we are doing everything we can to make sure that in-person instruction is provided simultaneously to remote instruction by maintaining the most fidelity that we can with implementing the curriculum. It's not easy, but I will say that one of the large concerns was the time frame going from a full day of school to a half day of school. I too see that that is a challenge that we are facing. That was a decision made by the district, not by PS number 3 in particular, but I do see those challenges, and our teachers do as well, and we're doing everything we can to bridge the gap. It's hard to make up for hours of instruction that we don't necessarily have at this point, but we're doing the best that we can. In terms of those who have come back for in-person instruction and the ability to have snacks, we are just following the district protocol, which basically states that schools are not allowed to provide food and that students aren't allowed to remove their masks to eat food in the school building. I've been asked whether or not snacks can be allowed to be eaten outdoors, and similar to what I announced a few months ago when we were returning to in-person instruction, we have a wonderful campus, but other schools in the district do not have the same resources per se as we do. So for equitability, we have followed the district protocol that states that no snacks are to be eaten at school. Now, another concern that's come up is with regard to those teachers who are teaching remotely now due to accommodations. Those accommodations were provided for medical purposes. They were provided by the district, and at our school level, if those teachers were not teaching remotely, then they would not be teaching at all. And in fact, we would have the same substitutes, teacher assistants, and teacher aides within those classrooms. But what would be missing is the classroom teacher. Now, I will say, Ms. Flores, Ms. Fernandez, Mr. Muhammad, 3 of our replacement teachers, so to speak, in the in-person environment have improved since day one, because nobody knew what to expect or what that role was the first day they went in there. But I will tell you that all three of those individuals care very much about the students that are in their classrooms and are working very, very hard to provide a positive environment for them. Now, the teachers who are teaching remotely want to be in the classrooms. They do. But they were receiving accommodations for medical purposes. Please understand, the alternative to them teaching remotely would be that your students and your children would be in school with those same support staff people, but there would be no certified teacher teaching those children. So we made the best of the situation. We're doing everything that we can to provide a robust education for your children, given these difficult times. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I'll be transparent with you. I walk around and I see teachers who are working really, really hard. But I have to tell you that sometimes there are students who aren't logging in. Sometimes they jump off the Zoom and decide not to participate. And that's a challenge for us. And we're doing everything we can and putting all the scaffolds in place to try to correct those situations and make them better and make the environment more engaging. I received tons of positive feedback from parents about their child's experience. And I will tell you this, I give them kudos. The ones that send their children back and decided back on April 15th or whenever it was when that survey went out, who took a risk and took a leap of faith and said, you know what, we trust the administration and the staff of PS3 to provide a safe experience for our kids. I thank you. I thank the 50.5% of our population for that trust. Because being able to provide what we're doing right now can only happen if we have students in the building. And guess what? Those students are reaping the benefits of it. The comments suggested that kids are excited to see their friends each day, that their whole demeanor has changed, that they're not only excited to get up each morning, but that they can't wait to get to school and they don't want to come home. That's a fantastic feeling for me. Now, I know that there were others who were in the background waiting around saying, okay, we're going to hold off. Well, I don't know how I feel. And now they're starting to hear from other parents that, oh, wow, the environment is great. And now everybody wants to change their minds. And I wish that I could afford that opportunity. But counter to what the protocols and policies were to start with, it wouldn't lend itself for success in our school to be able to do that at this point. Teachers have created their protocols and procedures and their structures in their classrooms, and they're working out very well for the most part. And I do not want to disrupt the momentum that they've currently established over the course of the last month. In terms of combining cohorts, a lot of questions about combining cohorts. I'll take the hit for this. I've been combining cohorts since before we even came back. We actually started April 29th with a few of our classes only having one cohort and only having that one cohort come to school every week. It was before there was any district talk of it, because it was right for kids, and based on the numbers we had, I felt that it was appropriate. Moving forward, we continue to combine the cohorts, specifically in pre-K. But as we moved further along in May and we started to see how the structures were working out, we got to a point where the numbers don't suggest that combining at this point would be beneficial for all parties involved. So I appreciate that people were waiting based on what the superintendent had mentioned in last week's communication. So the fact that I didn't reach out over the course of the last week, that's on me. But I have been combining cohorts since before anybody else was in the district. And I think that it's starting to pay dividends. In terms of some other suggestions and questions and comments that came up, a lot of them are district decisions that, we basically do what we're told in terms of the various structures of how long the day is and things like that. But I will say that those things that are unique to PS3, I will look at a number of those suggestions and we'll see what we can do about implementing them if we can find it to be feasible. As for September, I do not have any information at all regarding what school will look like in September. We have been told that the governor has suggested that all schools will be back full-time, We have been told that the governor is suggesting that there will be not a remote option available for students, which suggests to me that we will be back to normal in September. Furthermore, there was a mask requirement that was lifted in many public settings. However, for schools, that mask requirement has not been lifted. And I don't anticipate that it's going to be lifted by September. But please, understand, I'm with you. I want things back to normal. I want a full day of school. I want a full week of school. I don't want remote instruction anymore. I want our Conwell Tigers back in the building. And guess what? Our teachers do too. Everybody wants things to go back to normal. So we are going to push real hard to try to get that to happen. But some of the things that we're doing now will help facilitate that. Kids coming to school now and following the procedures for using hand sanitizer, for wearing their mask in the building, for socially distancing. All those things, we keep those in place. Numbers continue to come down. We're back to normal in September. That's just the way that I look at it. Now, there's some questions regarding 6 feet of separation versus 3 feet of separation and all that. The district has suggested that we keep our desks at 6 feet of separation. So we're going to follow that policy. That's not something that at PS3 I have the ability to change. Furthermore, the survey results to me are very revealing. When I share them with you, you will see that most people are pretty darn happy with what's going on. And I appreciate it. And my staff appreciates it. I think that the most telling of all the information that you will be provided is how students felt before April 29th versus how they feel now. The number of students who are satisfied with their experience has increased substantially. The numbers of 4s and 5s skyrocketed from before April 29th to where we are now. And that makes me extremely happy. I guess what it says to me is that we're doing some pretty good things. And I appreciate you guys sharing that information with me. So for now, and I'll be back in touch with you shortly, promise you, to provide more and more information. I want to, on behalf of my entire staffalty, I want to thank you for partnering with us in this process. I know 13-minute video isn't something that you're really interested in watching on Memorial Day weekend, but if you took the time to watch this video, we appreciate it. For now, continue to be nice, kind, respectful, honest. Please continue to be flexible, because from the bottom of my heart, you guys are amazing. Rawr!